The descent into JFK was nothing like the movies. For Amna and Salman, the Golden Land was shrouded in a gray Atlantic fog that made the skyscrapers of Manhattan look like jagged teeth. They stepped off the plane in 1994 with 2 suitcases filled mostly with heavy woolens they wouldn't need, and a stash of dried fenugreek leaves wrapped in triple plastic to hide the scent. Salman, an engineer with a top-tier degree from Karachi, clutched his leather briefcase like a shield. Amna, who had left behind a sprawling family and a half-finished master's degree in literature, held a crumpled piece of paper with an address in Queens. The first culture shock: the privacy of walls. Their first apartment was a junior one-bedroom in Jackson Heights. In Karachi, their home was a revolving door of aunts, cousins, and neighbors who entered without knocking. In New York, the silence was deafening. "Why is it so quiet?" Amna whispered their first night, staring at the beige walls. "Are the neighbors angry with us?" "No," Salman laughed, though he felt the same hollow chill. "Here, privacy is a luxury. We paid for these walls to keep people out." The luxury of privacy soon felt like a prison. The first time Amna went to the grocery store, she stood in the cereal aisle for 20 minutes, paralyzed by 40 different types of cornflakes. When she tried to strike up a conversation with the cashier about the price of tomatoes, a standard social ritual back home, the teenager behind the counter simply grunted, "Bag's 10 cents, lady, move it along." Amna walked home and cried. Not because of the tomatoes, but because she felt invisible for the first time in her life. The professional bridge. The bad events started 2 weeks in. Salman's prestigious degree, it turned out, didn't mean much without local experience. The briefcase was traded for a yellow taxi medallion. "It's just for 6 months," Salman promised, his eyes red-shot from a 12-hour shift, "until I get my license verified." But the city had a way of stretching 6 months into years. The fun moments were small and hard-won. They discovered that if they went to the local park on Sunday mornings, they could find a group of older men playing cricket with a taped-up tennis ball. Salman would join in, his taxi parked illegally nearby, while Amna shared Tupperware containers of biryani with the other wives. In those 3 hours, the concrete of Queens felt like the dust of Lahore. The friction of change. As they adapted, their relationship began to shift. Back home, roles were carved in stone. In New York, the stone was melting. One evening, Salman came home to find Amna not in the kitchen, but at the small dining table, surrounded by ESL textbooks and a map of the subway system. "I found a job," she said, her voice trembling with a mix of pride and fear. "At the library. It's part-time, but they need someone who speaks Urdu." Salman stayed silent for a long time. In his mind, he was the provider. He was the one braving the mean streets so she could be safe. "What will people back home say, that I couldn't support my wife?" "There is no home here, Salman," she replied firmly. "There is only us. And us needs to pay the heating bill." That night was their first real American fight. Not about money, but about identity. It was a culture shock that happened inside their own 4 walls. They realized that to survive the U.S., they couldn't just change their clothes, they had to change their expectations of each other.